Hello, my friends. Is this thing on? Last week I made it 39 minutes before I realised it was not recording. So I feel like I'm paranoid today. But welcome to Together Run 91. Let's try again, because again last week didn't go through. I'm in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and I'd like to take you on a run with me. Might not be a full hour for those of you who normally do 60 minutes, but you'll know by the title of the episode. But for those of you who are doing 45 or 30, it'll be perfect. So I want you to start, as we always do, by grounding yourself, connecting with some element of nature. I'm going to find a lovely tree here. And I hope I remember to tell you about what Bailey said yesterday. Oh, this is like there's little tiny acorns. I think I'm going to take a picture of this. So cute. Right, let's see if I can figure it out. Find your way of grounding yourself. Oh, come on, Zoo. Focus. Focus, phone. It's not focusing. Ugh. Why is it not focusing? There you go. I can't get it to focus. It's moving. That photo is blurry. But I got it. You ready to begin? Tiny little baby acorns. In 3, 2, and 1, off we go. We are gonna go on our run together. If you haven't done one of these before, we're gonna do some meditative elements to start with, and then we are gonna do some meditative elements to start with, and then we're going to do just a conversational piece. I'm going to stay in the shade as much as I possibly can, because even though it's 9 a.m, I would guess we're well above 80 at this point. Having a heat wave here, as are many places here in the US and around the world. Why? We all know why, don't we? If you know me, you know I'm going to tell you why. And that is climate change. It is here, it is happening, it is going to become a norm to have these extreme weather systems until we can take the steps to cool our planet back down. Okay, so we're going to begin, as we always do, with our body scan, and what that's going to be is I'm going to call out the various parts of the body for you. All your job is to just be present in those areas and just see how everything feels. We're just checking in with our bodies to see how everything is. And I don't want you to do anything else but just be aware. So ready? Starting at the top of your head, working your way down, checking in with those eyes, making sure they're not scrunched or squinting as you continue on down through your nose into your mouth, checking in with your jaw and chin. Again, making sure you're not clenching, not holding tension there. We want everything nice and relaxed. As you check in with the back of your head, making sure that you are paying attention, going down into the back of your neck and the front of your neck, continuing on down into the shoulders. If those are high and you're holding tension up there, just let them melt down, relax as you continue on down through your arms, your upper arm, going into your lower arm, around the elbow and into your wrist and hand, and keeping those fingers nice and relaxed. Come back to the main part of the torso, going down through the chest, through the stomach, round to the lower back, continuing on down into your hips and pelvis, checking in all those areas as we continue down into your quad, and round the back to your hamstrings. Checking in with the back of the knee and the front of the knee, going into your calf and shin as you go into your inner ankle and outer ankle, into your heel and arch, top of the arch, into the ball of your foot, and finally your toes. How's everything feeling? For me, I feel pretty good actually. I ran on some gravelly road yesterday afternoon, and it really aggravated my foot the first half. So I thought today would be a bit worse, but actually it feels pretty good. Better than it has been feeling. So, checked in with your body. Just take a moment to reflect how everything's feeling overall. Okay, and next, as we always do, we're going to go on to check in with our surroundings, taking them in through our 5 primary senses. So what I'm going to have you do, we're going to end with sight. End with sight, because that's our most overutilized, overused, overstimulated sense. And we're going to begin by, as deep as you can, I get that we are running. Going to take 3 nice deep breaths. Again, they're not going to be full deep breaths, but just what you can do right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Just to center yourself. What do you smell? I smell cut grass. Not my favourite smell in the world, but it's the smell. Do you like the smell of cut grass? I know some people love that smell. I just don't. What about you? Okay. Next, what do you taste? For me, I taste syrup. Pancakes at the cafeteria here about an hour ago. Hoping they don't disrupt my stomach. I ate quite a bit, but I've got to get used to this with the ultra running life of running after eating real food. So good practice. Definitely taste the syrup though. Maybe it's just like a sugar residue. Okay, next. If you would like to take your headphones out, that's what you can do. If you prefer to just listen to my surroundings, you can do that too. Sorry I don't have a more exciting place for us to be running around this beautiful place yesterday, George Washington National Forest, but it's too far of a drive away for me to be able to fit in today. So, just a very regular run in a suburb right now. But, so if you're going to take your headphones out in just a second, you'll do that. Take about 45 seconds to just listen to what you hear, taking in what you can, and then we'll check back in. So let's go ahead and do that now. Few more seconds. Okay. What did you hear? Whether you were listening to my surroundings or your own, what jumped out at you when you were listening and paying attention? Just reflect on that for a moment. For me, mostly I can just hear the wind blowing past my ears. Cars, birds, things that I consider pretty typical for runs at home. Very similar noises here. So yeah. Okay. Next, we're going to go on to our sense of touch, tactile, being present in our body to see what comes up for us in terms of just a sense of feel on the outside, how your body is interacting with the world. And as always, that may mean that your attention, your awareness is jumping from place to place pretty quickly, or it might mean that your attention gets stuck on a certain part of your body that is bothering you or just feels different. But I just want you to follow your awareness within the way your body is interacting with the environment around you, your sense of touch. So let's go ahead and do that now. Few more seconds. Okay, what did you notice? For me, I'm going to do it now because I like to have it be in the moment. So what do I feel? I feel the wind blowing against the sweat on my face. I feel a droplet that feels like it's going between my eyes. I feel my phone in my hand. I feel my fingers on my other palm. I feel a little bit of tightness in my chest, not more than usual. And I feel the waistband of my shorts. What did you notice today? Okay, and finally, we have our most overused sense, the one most of us tend to rely on the most, our sense of vision. I want you to take the time to really take in your surroundings. And as always, I ask that you take one thing around you that your attention is drawn to, and you take a mental photograph of what that is, as if you're taking in every little detail of it, something you wouldn't typically notice. And as always, this is applicable whether this is the first time you've run in this place, like what I'm doing right now, or whether it's the 20,000th time. There is always something to see wherever you are, and so I want you to make the most of that and just take something in great detail. So let's go ahead and do that now. A few more seconds. Okay. Whew. Something big just landed on my legs. It's kind of big hornet or something, or bug. Ooh, that scared me. What did you notice? What was your eyes drawn to? What did you take a mental photograph of? Just think about that right now for a second. Can you see it in your mind? For me, definitely just looking around, seeing the mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains in the background. Well, I'm assuming they're the Blue Ridge, I don't know. Just got a really pretty view of some mountains in the distance. I'll be honest, I also have a view right in front of me of some kind of industrial something or other. Giant pillars with, I don't know what that would be for. I really couldn't take a guess. When we get there, I'll have a look what it says, but that's the honest, that's the real, right? If I look to my right, I see beautiful mountain skyline, but if I look straight ahead, I see industrial. So that's the reality of for any of us, right? Okay. That's our 5 senses check-in. Thank you for doing that, and I hope you feel more connected to yourself and your surroundings after that. I'm going to have us get on a bit of a major road for a few minutes just to get over to this little running path. It's not very long, but we'll just maybe do a little bit on there. Yeah. But the next thing we do together is our mental health check-in, which is where I'm going to ask you, how are you, really? And I want you to be honest with yourself. Even if we were running together and you wouldn't be able to tell me any of this, that's okay. But I want you to be able to say it to yourself and just to check in with yourself, your surroundings, and what your world involves right now, and how that's mentally affecting you. So I'm going to ask you this question, as I always do. How are you, really? it away, gently bring yourself back. A little bit longer. I need to try and get across this main road. So I may leave you in this "how are you really" a little bit longer than usual. But keep on digging. What else is going on with you mentally? Just want to concentrate as I cross the road here. Oh, this is not looking good. Me getting across. Oh, here's my window. Go, 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 go. Okay, a few more seconds, friends. As I turn onto this running path and have myself do it, but you can just be reflecting on what you've been thinking about. Oh, here you go. Here's what this factory is. Pilgrims Feed Manufacturing Division. Oh, my favorite kind of thing. That is definite sarcasm. That clearly makes feed for agriculture industry. Yep, not great. Okay. Well, this running path is not exactly a running path. It's literally a double wide sidewalk next to a road. Thought I'd be off the road for a while, but never mind. Okay. How am I really? I've had a really good week, so I feel grateful and excited and hopeful and positive and loved and appreciated and valued. So much good. Also feel definitely like just, oh no, now we're going into, there we go. Now I'm going into a proper path. Much better. But I also feel just like stretched too thin, yes, but it's more than that. Almost like I feel like I'm letting people down, like I'm kind of doing everything to a C grade, and I'm trying to, the perfectionist in me struggles with that and is struggling with that. I also know that's not good to be a perfectionist, and I know I could get these things mostly right, but it would destroy me in the process, and that's not worth it. But there is definitely within me a sense of like just letting people down, I suppose. The book is going to be arriving at the publisher when is it the day you will listen to this? If you listen to this the day it comes out, I think it's the next day. I think Monday is the 31st. So on the 1st, the book is officially kind of available to order. Amazon orders will get it on the 15th. And, you know, if you order it other places, somewhere in between the 1st and the 15th, which just is kind of sprung upon me. I really had been in my head like 18th of August, like, and so it feels a bit like suddenly the date was pulled up because everything came in quicker, and so that just feels a bit stressful. And like I haven't managed to get my ducks in a row because the last few weeks I've had so many other things that are what I do that have taken kind of the front seat, like being here at the Blue Ridge Running Camp. I did a speaking event here. I've been with the campers. Steve's been here with the girls. We brought them along so he could work the camp as well. And then before that, the day before I came here right from Chicago for the Running USA board meeting, which was a lot. Just have to like really listen and pay attention for like 6 hours straight. And it just kind of, so I just feel a bit stretched too thin. And I can feel it kind of weighing on me, like at nights I'm sending emails till like 11 p.m, from 10 to 11, because it's the only time I can find. And I've never been someone to do that. Oh, thank you. Person let me across. I've never been someone to do that. But like, I don't have a choice right now. So I know you're all going to say, don't be so hard on yourself. I'd be saying the same thing. But like, the number of pre-orders we have got is pretty low. Like, kind of painfully low, actually. And to those of you who have pre-ordered, thank you. But it just, the fact that people haven't pre-ordered makes me, you know, of course it brings in those imposter, God, that smells so strong of like feed. Oh God, that's gross. Oh my God, yuck. I can taste it. So, yeah, of course that brings about my imposter syndrome, but it also makes me be like, wow, I haven't done enough. Like, people don't feel encouraged to buy. And the thing is, though, I know the logical side. And I do it too, of like, yeah, I'll just order it when it comes out. And, you know, maybe that is what people are doing. I hope that's what people are doing. But it just is hard to not see it as like, you know, well, I'm not doing enough. So, yeah, I'm just feeling a lot of that right now. And hoping that, you know, the book can be successful. And actually, Martinus Evans, as you may know, as the Slow AF Run Club founder, he called me yesterday to check in. He was like, I know this is a stressful time. He also said, I know you think this is a stressful time, but it's about to get more stressful. So that was great. But he just wanted to check in. And that was really nice. I seem to be running towards another one of those factories. So either there's two of them, or somehow I've ended up in a circle. I don't understand. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, that's a lot of what my feelings are, just kind of overwhelm. And yeah, imposter syndrome is loud. I also know there is going to be a ton of nasty comments, reviews coming out of this, and Martinus also said that, like, prepare yourself for those. And so, you know, I'm nervous of how things will play out. But if you haven't pre-ordered and you can, that would really help me out. Okay, so next I've got 2.5 minutes until the 30-minute group is going to peel away. And so when we get to 30 minutes, everyone, well, those of you doing 30 minutes will come to a walk. We'll give you 30 seconds or so. We'll do 2 strides, and the rest of us will keep jogging the whole time and in between the strides. And then we'll say bye-bye. So I don't want to begin anything new at this point. I do want to let you know that I've been trying out this pre-workout, pre-hard run, pre-long run blackcurrant berry, which is berry in New Zealand. We have it in England. Before my runs, this product called 2 Before. And I've really been enjoying it. I love the taste of blackcurrant. And it has an incredibly high amount of antioxidants in it that help with performance. And I've just really been enjoying drinking it before my runs. So I mentioned in the past I was trying it out a month or two ago, and now I do have a 30% off code. No pressure to try it, but if you want it, I'll put a link in the show notes. You can get 30% off if you are someone who is training for something or you have races coming up. This is just literally adding this really powerful superhero berry, essentially, blackcurrant, to help you with your performance. So, strongly encourage you to check it out. No pressure. All right, we got 30 seconds. 2 before is the name of it. The number 2 before. And I'll just tell you, if you use code TINA, that'll be the 30% off. But again, I'll put a link. Alright. So when we hit 30 minutes, I gotta get off this road. It's just too busy. Alright, I'm gonna turn around. That sign says it's 94 out right now. It can't be that at 9 a.m. Can it at 10 a.m? Surely not. But who knows? Doesn't quite feel that bad. Alright, okay, so you should have come to a walk. Give you 30-45 seconds, and then we'll do 2 strides. There is like no shade around here whatsoever. There's hardly any trees. Just relentless. It's good for my sun exposure practice for Evelina, I guess. Okay, we're going to do a stride. Stride is going to be 10 to 15 seconds, about 80% of your max, and 80% of your max. And you're not trying to take big steps. You're trying to increase your cadence so that you can propel yourself forward. Okay, ready? 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Come to a jog or a walk. We'll take another 30 seconds or so while I try and, there we go, cross the street, and then we'll do another stride. So conscious now of I have definite sunspots on my cheekbones, and I wear a hat, keep it out my eyes, but I'm well aware that my cheekbones aren't in that right now, and I didn't put sunscreen on. Need to get better at that. And some of you are going to be shaking your head. I'm sorry, I try and remember, I just can't, just forget. Okay, we're going to do another stride. You ready? 3, 2, and 1. Off you go. Come to a jog or a walk. 30-minute crew. Thank you so much for joining me. That link to becoming a sustainable runner is in the show notes. As is, what else did I mention? Something else. Anyway, it's in the show notes. I appreciate you listening and joining me. Would love if you would share a photo. Thank you, Nasara. I saw yours last week. Who else? There's another one I saw. I can't remember your name. Nasara's was 30 minutes. That's why it stuck in my mind. But thank you to those of you who did share. I really love to see them. Keep them coming. And 30-minute crew. I'll see you next time. All right. 45s. We got about 12 minutes till we begin our next set of strides. So the next part of this is me updating you, or you updating me, in theory, on what you've been up to. So since the last time we ran together, we didn't have one last week because, as I said, got lost. I just checked again, I'm still recording. And so since the 2 weeks, or however long additional it's been since we ran together, what would you tell me in terms of updates? What you've been up to, what you've been working through, whatever else you want to share. If you haven't run with me before, what would you tell me about you and your journey? Just tell me about who you are or share a part of your story. I'd love to hear. So let's go ahead and do that now. Got distracted, gently bring yourself back. What updates do you have? This is also a good time to reflect on all you've been doing that is contributing to maybe the way you're feeling on this run, the tiredness you're feeling in general, the irritability, maybe some of the choices you've made that haven't been the best for you and the people you care about. But in this moment, you can think about what's been going on with you. And of course you're snapping or irritated or tired in your runs or anything else. So that's a lot of what this is just understanding and being compassionate with yourself, because you have been going through a lot. Maybe. Morning. Few more seconds. Okay. Right. Does that give you some kind of compassion and thought towards what you've been going through, what's going on in your life that could be accumulating to the way you're feeling, in good or bad? Maybe you're in a bit of a smooth sailing cart and you feel good on your run. That's great. Acknowledge that. Okay. My turn. What's been going on so much? The first thing I want to tell you is I'm doing this run in the morning, and I'm actually going to jump in a Tracksmith Twilight meet this evening. As of right now, as of this recording, I'm entered in a 18 to 18:30 heat, which is punching way above my weight right now. I am not in shape to run that. Probably even more so doing an hour the morning before, but this isn't, I'm not doing this to run a PR or anything. And I need to get my miles up. But also, I really wanted to support Tracksmith. I've always wanted to go to one of these meets, and it just seems like a ton of fun. They also have a little kids race, which they do at every race, so you should go check that out if you have kids. That's free, the kids one. So I'm in that, but I did ask them this morning, because that heat is so late and we've got an early flight in the morning, if I could move to the slower heats, or even pace one of the slower heats, so that we can get back to our hotel near the airport sooner. I don't know what they're going to say, but I've asked. So that's going to be interesting either way. And I'm looking forward to checking it out. I've always wanted to go to one of these. Tracksmith, Trials of Miles is putting this one on for Tracksmith, but they was just such an amazing event, both of those companies. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should definitely go to the Tracksmith website, or if you go to tracksmith.com/Tina, you'll tell them that you came from me. But if you go to the events page and you look up their calendar, they have these twilight meets that are done in the evenings. Each city they're in, they do them twice, once at the beginning of the summer and once at the end. And can't remember how many weeks apart, maybe 6 weeks apart. And you can do any pace really. I think the slowest heat is like, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's around 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I can't say for sure. But they basically break it up. It's a fun way to try out a 5K if you on the track, if you've always wanted to do that. And let me tell you, there are plenty of people in those slower heats. It's just something different, something fun. If you've been looking for something to get out of your comfort zone, definitely would recommend that. They're not telling me to say this, this is my own observations. I just think they've done such a good job with them. And it gives you that experience of just what it's like to run a 5K on the track. And by the way, I just want to mention, I know I just said 25 minutes might be the slowest heat, and I recognise that's still fast for many runners. Again, we know running is relative, but I want to acknowledge that you might be thinking, Tina, that's so insulting. You just said 25 minutes is slow, which I didn't. That wasn't what I meant if I did come across that way. But you aren't going to see many 5Ks on the track that are inclusive up to 25 minutes. But either way, I really need to get back across the road. Either way, it's worth checking out. There's all these trucks coming by. Need to get back on the sidewalk. Just give me a second. Alright, I think I can go. Okay. Alright. There we go. Okay, so that's that. I've got 2.5 minutes before 45-minute group will come for a walk. Okay. So, what else have I been doing? Well, I told you 2 of the things. This camp, board meeting, and then beyond that is book stuff. And having conversations with other races about working with them on their sustainability initiatives. I really want to become the name that comes to mind when people think about sustainability and running. And so lots of these major races are coming together. I think I'm going to be at CIM as well. So if you're doing that one, let me know. And on that note, if you don't follow me on social media or have signed up for the email newsletter at runningforreal.com, I definitely encourage you to go do that, because I'm never going to be able to remember all the events I have coming up on these, but that email newsletter will have all the information you need, the times, the locations, everything about those events coming up. And there's quite a few cities, so for book or just being, I'd love to see you, give you a hug in person if you want a hug. And yeah, so go sign up at runningforreal.com. Again, there'll be a link in the show notes when we're done here, but just a reminder that I am going to be in a lot of cities. So updates are kind of preparing for that, and also trying to make the most of time with the girls, because I'm aware Bailey's starting kindergarten. I am going to have a busy fall, and so I want to make the most of this time with them. So yeah, okay, 15 seconds, 45 crew. You can take 30 seconds or so walk before we start our strides, and the rest of us will keep on running. I'm going uphill, by the way, in case it wasn't obvious. Okay, come to a walk. Oh, sun baking my head, and uphill. Give me about 30 to 45 seconds, and we'll do the 2 strides. Whew. I want to talk in a minute about what I talked about with these campers. 240 kids, high schoolers, middle schoolers. First, let's do a stride. You ready? 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Come to a jog or a walk. We'll do one more in a minute. Okay, ready? 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Come to a jog or a walk. 45-minute group. Just go ahead and take a picture of you now. I know you're sweaty and red-faced. I know your surroundings aren't great. Doesn't matter. I just want to imagine who I'm running with, see your faces so I can see you. Go and share that. Send it to me so I can envision you with me. When I am getting out on these 80-something degree days and, you know, talking for an hour adds a level of difficulty to this. Okay, thank you for joining. Links in the show notes. I'd appreciate your support, you know that. And see you next time. Alright, so the rest of us, we have about 10 minutes till we begin our last set of strides. I think I might run back and forth a little bit along this stretch that has some limited shade, just so I can keep myself a bit cooler. Definitely feel the heat now. Okay, so I wanted to tell you about my talk this week. I talked to these teenagers, and I made the talk different to other talks I've done, speeches, and that was because I wanted to make it about, like, I originally called it 10 things I wish I knew. But then I explained, and you probably clock this when I said that. If you've heard me talk, you've heard me say that I don't believe in, changing your past. Like, I very much believe that things work out the way they do. And even if you would have gone back to tell your younger self something, young Tina wouldn't have listened, so it would have been pointless. So I kind of changed it to 10 things I learned the hard way, and I talked about perfectionism and like you can work hard, but you can also enjoy yourself along the way. And I talked about fueling, of course, with this age group, very important, at Red S. Relative energy deficiency in sport, my YouTube resource, I talked about that. That has all those 50 videos on what Red S is, how to make sure you get enough fuel, all that. And then also talked about being careful of trusting people like me, and like anyone that tells you this one shoe or this one thing is the only thing that made them fast or made them run their PRs. I'd be very skeptical. And I think actually this age group has a pretty strong BS meter to know when someone's trying to say that like drinking this mushroom drink in the morning made them run their personal best. And so yeah. And then what else did I talk about? I talked about like body, not trying to make yourself look like anyone else, especially not elite runners or professionals or influencers. And mostly it was about taking the pressure off yourself. And I've had probably 20 plus, maybe 30 campers come to me and say, thank you so much for this, I really needed it. Just like, that was really good to hear, and so important that they were listening and paying attention. And I also did a separate talk to the teachers and said to them, not the teachers, the coaches, talked to them about Red S in detail, and just what their role is, because it is a very important role. Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead and do a body scan at your own pace. And just check in with your body, see how you're feeling now versus at the beginning of the run. So let's go ahead and do that now. Nearly swallowed a bug. Final few seconds. Okay, how's your body feeling now versus at the beginning? Mine's definitely feeling a bit fatigued. To which point, many of you are probably wondering if I'm trying to run a 5k going faster than I'm ready for. Why would I run an hour the morning of? And that's the kind of the point, is I'm doing this because I want to check out these Twilight meets to support a brand I care about who does amazing work, but also because it doesn't matter like what is for me, the difference in a minute in a 5K is really not a big deal. And so if I'm taking out some of what I can do this evening, that's okay. Because again, my long-term goal is javelina. I'm not doing this run to prove to anyone or myself or for any reason other than just it sounded like something a bit fun. And I haven't done a 5K on the track since 2014. So 9 years. And also just last time I was on the track, it was kind of the opposite. Like I was so desperate to try and break 16 minutes. It was like obsession. And I want to prove to myself that it doesn't say anything about who I am or what I'm going to do or my values. So, you know, I need to make sure I'm getting my miles in for this ultra. So why not just do it? So yeah. One more update I have actually. I have poison ivy on my neck. Don't know how it got on my neck. It doesn't appear to be anywhere else right now. And it's Friday. And the last time I was in the trails was Sunday. So I'm hoping this is it. But being as highly allergic as I am, there's a little part of me that's nervous about if other bits are going to come up. But also, now I've got to go home and figure out where the oil could be. Because on Sunday I was home, Monday I was home, and then I left. So it's definitely got to be on my shoes. So I'm going to have Steve pick those up and put them in the washing machine. My socks have already been washed, but I know which socks it is. So I'm going to be careful with those. And then what was the other thing? And then, yeah, my bed sheets, if it's on my neck at home, it's got to be on my bed sheets, my pillow. So I've got to do the process of figuring out where it could be. Because in this way, I think going away was maybe a blessing because I didn't touch many other things at home and spread it around. But yeah, never fun, is it? Okay, so we've got about a minute just over till we do our 2 strides, and then we will be done. I might tackle this hill now and then have my strides in the flatter. These hills are pretty aggressive where they appear out of nowhere. Don't worry, I'm going to drink a lot of water, electrolytes, all of the above the rest of the day. Whew. Okay, you ready to do our 2 strides? 3, 2, and 1. Off we go. Come to a jog or a walk. Be about 30 seconds, and we'll do another one. Whew. Okay, ready? 3, 2, and 1, off we go. right, come to a jog. And actually, you know what, friends? I'm going to cut this early. If you want to keep going all the way you can, for me, this feels like one of those moments where I'm just running around in circles for the sake of it. So, if you want to keep going, you can. But while you're doing so, find some way to ground yourself in nature. I'm going to touch the lichen moss on this tree. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next Monday when my book will be just a week away. Or actually, in theory, able to order at that point. If you can go ahead and pre-order, that means the world. If you already have, thank you so much. When you get your copy, if you take a picture of you with it and share it on social, you are angels, and I would be forever grateful for you, and would love to reshare it and say thank you to you personally. I'll see you next time, friends. Thanks for listening.